You know, people get the Senate all wrong. From a distance, it might look tedious and dull, but up close it's teeny, predatory, unpredictable, like the ocean. That's what I love about it. Let's get started.
Thanks for hurrying over, Herman.
My secretary said it was urgent.
You probably heard that Senator Taft's cancer is moving fast.
4 months ago, he was fine.
That's what happens. The Senate says a quick public goodbye, office is cleared out before the body's cold.
The Senate moves on.
We must start looking ahead.
But when Taft dies...
When Taft dies, we won't have the votes. Don't underestimate landslide Lincoln. He's as slippery as Nixon and twice as smart. He'll make us look weak. Americans don't vote for weak.
We've got Senator McCarthy. America loves him.
Indeed.
They understand. Senator Joe McCarthy is trying to protect this country. We saved Europe from the Nazis and Asia from the Japs. I didn't spend 2 years in uniform so the commies could take over now.
Good old tail gunner Joe. McCarthy used his wartime story to full advantage, and it wasn't even true.
The Democrats are afraid of him after our landslide last year.
Things are changing fast. We're vulnerable now. The minute the vultures smell weakness, they attack. We've got to strike first.
You mean...
I mean, we've got to keep our edge in the Senate. Flip a seat, whatever it takes. I've worked my way up to Appropriations Committee Chairman and President Pro Tem of the Senate, and I won't let it slip away now. No. This is war.
Ring, ring. Yes, this is Senator Hunt. Who? Lester Hunt Jr.? Buddy? Yes, operator, I'll accept the charges. Buddy? What? Buddy? We've got a poor connection. Where? The D.C. police station? It's 5 a.m. in Washington.
Who is it?
What? Can you speak louder?
Who could be calling at this hour?
You've been there for 5 hours?
Is that Buddy? It's no
Listen.
Is he hurt?
Here, your mother wants to speak with you. Sorry.
Remember, we love you.
No, it's not that. That's fine. Sorry, I don't. Yes, that's your mother. Should we wire money? No bail? Charges dropped. Okay, good. When are you leaving the station? Okay, call us tomorrow. Yes, we'll pay for the long distance. We're headed back to D.C. Friday.
Let me speak to him.
Here, your mother wants to speak to you. Remember, we love you. Everything will be all right.
Buddy? 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 The line's dead. Is he okay?
I couldn't hear him too well. It sounded like a case of mistaken identity. They're releasing him. He should be fine.
That's all?
It'll be okay. Let's go back to bed.
Oh, right.
He's not going to do it.
This
You
crossing.
promise. He's not going to do it.
It appears our moment of opportunity has arrived.
For what?
Finding that seat we need once Taft goes.
I've got some ideas.
Really?
Kefauver. Humphrey. They've been thorns in our side.
Herman, member of the Armed Services Committee?
Well,
Damn it, Herman, think like a politician for once. What good does getting rid of Kefauver or Humphreys do for us? Think. What Democratic senator is from a state with a Republican governor? From a state where we took a seat last year? Come on, who can help us hold on to the Senate? Lester Hunt, Wyoming.
wasn't he on Kefauver's Commission Against Organized
The
Crime?
public doesn't remember that. He won't be missed.
Joe hates him. Seems like Hunt goes after Joe every chance he
Hunt's
gets.
soft. He's a dentist, for Christ's sake.
Eisenhower. You don't hear him criticizing Joe.
He knows what needs to be done and lets Joe do it.
Americans agree with Joe. They want him to keep us safe.
McCarthy's even got Jack Kennedy eating out of his hand.
No kidding.
The junior senator from the great state of Massachusetts. That arrogant little brat then here thanks to Daddy's big fat bank account. Didn't have to make it on his own like I did.
I heard Jack threw a fit at a dinner last year when someone criticized McCarthy. He was so upset he stormed out.
Jack's father has funneled millions to Joe. They're tight as ticks.
Those people stick together.
Politics, Herman, politics. It's no secret that Papa wants one of his boys to be president.
A Catholic president?
Don't worry. They may breed like rabbits, but that will never happen, even if every one of them voted.
Is it true McCarthy dated one of Kennedy's sisters?
Yeah, but it didn't go anywhere. Now Joe's getting married.
Married?
Washington debutante. Political animal. 10 times smarter than Joe, but he's her ticket.
I didn't know that.
Neither did Joe. Until her mother announced it to the newspapers. Joe's overmatched.
What did you mean about Senator Hunt?
Focus, Herman. We took back the Senate last year by a hair. 1 seat.
But
It's a disaster heading into next year's elections. We've got to act.
what does that have to do with Hunt?
Wyoming's governor is a Republican.
Hunt's up next year, isn't he?
Not if he resigns.
He'll never resign.
Herman, innuendo is the lifeblood of power. You've got to keep your ear to the ground.
Well, I haven't heard anything about Hunt.
No?
No.
Or about his son?
No.
Seems the boy's got certain nocturnal pastimes in Lafayette Park.
Isn't he a student?
Divinity school. President of his class.
And he's skulking around the park looking for a blowjob from a
So-
stranger.
So it seems. At least according to Mr. Cohn,
Roy Cohn?
McCarthy's chief counsel.
Takes one to know one.
Roy does have excellent sources.
Is the Hunt boy in jail?
No, cops dropped the charges.
Didn't make the papers?
Well, it could, couldn't it? Now, Herman, perhaps you could have a chat with our pals at the D.C. Police Department.
Lester! Hey, I've been meaning to tell you about Harmon Killebrew. He's the best slugger yet. He's from my hometown in Idaho. We've got to get the Nationals to draft him.
That bill of yours, it's attracting undue attention in the press.
That's exactly what it's supposed to do. A senator can accuse someone, a senator can spread outright lies, accusing innocent people of things they didn't do. But any constituent of ours can go to jail for that? That's not fair.
Your bill isn't going anywhere. It will just stir things up for no good purpose.
Some people think it's time for things to change, and I'm with them.
It's not the way we do things here. Remember that.
Ran into Senator Bridges today, and Herman Walker, too.
Oh?
I don't think it was an accident, though they pretended it was.
What did they want?
Herman's angling to get the Washington Nationals to draft a red-hot hitter named Harmon Killebrew. Says he's just what that baseball team needs.
Have you heard of it?
No, he's some high school kid from Idaho. If they draft him, Walker would score points with his constituents back home. Walker knew that I was the second-row pitcher.
And Senator Bridges, I hope he's finally putting money in the appropriations bill for Wyoming's new community colleges.
Not exactly.
Well, what then?
He's not too happy about my anti-slander bill. Of course, the Republicans can keep it from coming to a vote, but he's displeased that it's getting undue attention from the press. He claims it hurts the reputation of what he calls his august institution.
Well, his crowd doesn't like you.
We're still colleagues.
Yeah, but they're up to something.
I talked it over at lunch with Earl and Desi's. They don't think I should be concerned.
He's had McCarthy's number since day one, and his crowd knows it. Remember when he disrupted the Malmedy hearings in the Armed Services Committee and he dabbled him down?
That was years ago. It's water under the bridge.
Well, not to them, it's not. And you're not entirely innocent either, Lester. You crossed the line of Senate decorum when you called McCarthy a liar in a homesick newspaper.
McCarthy isn't just trashing the Senate. He's a danger to the country. He'll say or do anything. But if there's one thing I know about bullies, it's you have to stand up to them or they escalate.
And your anti-slander bill, I mean, everyone knows it's aimed at McCarthy.
Do you think it's fair that an ordinary citizen can be arrested for spreading malicious lies, but because he's a senator, McCarthy gets off scot-free?
No, all I'm saying is, don't make yourself a target.
Why would they go after me? I'm solid in Wyoming. I'm a lowly freshman here in Washington. I've got no clout. There are Democrats with much tougher re-election races than me next year. I just don't see what it gets them.
Lester, don't be naive. This wouldn't be the first time McCarthy and his thugs have interfered in the Senate election. Nothing is
Too low for them.
nothing is too low for them.
If They're trying to scare me. They don't know who they're dealing with.
Hi, buddy. I think it's safe to talk to you.
Okay.
Good to see you. It's been a while.
You too. How's life?
Busy. Crazy city, but great for the news business.
Girl of your dreams yet?
Buddy, you know that's not my way you remember.
That was just a, summer thing between us.
Not to me.
I'm sorry.
I hear you're on your way to Mexico.
A mission trip for our seminary. They go every year.
Good, good. You're getting out of here for a while.
Why?
You were arrested a few weeks ago.
You heard.
Lots of people heard.
The charges were dropped. They said that's normal the first time.
The word is you got special treatment because your father's a senator. I keep getting fed the gossip. That means someone wants it to get in the papers.
What should I do?
Go to Mexico. I'll do my best to make sure it blows over. Reporters can smell a rat. I'm pretty sure we can keep a lid on it.
Tony, thanks for your... Thank you.
Buddy's case wasn't the only thing going on. Taft died. Eisenhower continued to fight the big fag menace by kicking hundreds of homosexuals out of government jobs. The Rosenbergs were fried for being communist spies. The Russians detonated their hydrogen bomb. And what does my editor want me to write about? Joe McCarthy's wedding.
This heat is awful.
Terrible.
You better get ready to go pick up Buddy. I want to be at the gate when he gets off the plane. I pray he's had a good trip and that horrible night behind him.
I wonder if that poor girl knows what she's getting herself into.
She's no poor girl. Marriage was her idea. She knew what she wanted and now she's got it. Just ignore them.
It's hard to ignore.
May I come in?
Lester, I'll finish getting ready.
So this is your house. Back to back with Joe's. I didn't believe him, but he was right. He always is. It's a nice place you got here. You got some pretty things, too.
Lester, we're leaving in 5 minutes.
Herman, I think you're looking for the wedding party. It's over there.
Oh, I was at that party. And I'm going back.
Herman.
Joe got himself quite a piece of, you-know-what. Not sure how he snagged a hot one like that.
We're headed out.
Line? Oh, a Class A example of female pulchritude, prostitute, pulchritudinousness.
Herman, it's time for you to leave.
What a wedding night he's going to have.
What do you want?
Oh, I remember. Big Joe sent me over here to tell you to join the party. We've got drinks for everyone.
Thanks, but no. Nadal and I were just headed out.
You know people there, including some of our fellow distinguished senators. Don't disappoint Joe.
You go back and enjoy yourself.
The folks at the party are talking. We heard Buddy's back from Mexico. Now that's quite a party scene, isn't it? The hot sun, lots of booze, girls practically for free. But I guess girls aren't what Buddy wants, are they? No girls for him.
My son is the best man.
Well,
I've
there's
ever-
plenty of everything else too. Whatever you like, or whatever likes you.
You might have trouble navigating back to the party. We'll drop you off.
As your friend, my dear friend, the distinguished senator from Wyoming, the honorable senator, do you know that those people are talking to the police?
Neighbors upset about the party?
No. They're talking about Buddy.
That's over. The case is closed.
If the Senate wants a case reopened, they'll do it. Even the judges, just ask Styles.
Come on, Lester. It's time to pick up Buddy.
Buddy? Where's Buddy?
He's at National Airport, and we've got to go.
I don't think so. As they say, Mr. Baseball, the game ain't over till it's over.
We're taking you back to the
It's
park.
not over. The queers are everywhere, destroying us. The president says they can't work in government anymore. He's a war hero. He knows about communists and perverts and protecting our country. No, ma'am, I am fine, just fine, feeling good. We know your son fled the country, and now he's slinking back. How do you like that? I can't wait to tell Joe. Yes, the pixie is already back.
We're wasting time. You need to go.
You'll see. The cops don't want people to think a senator's son got off easy. You tell him it's not over. No, it's not over yet.
Transition projection. A gavel pounds 3 times, signifying the verdict of guilty. In Buddy's trial, and the headline is projected about homosexuals being convicted for sexual perversion.
I shouldn't be here. I'm glad you called. I'm scared. Didn't think it would get this far. Are you going to write about it? Senator's son, tried and convicted for soliciting sex from homosexual sex from a cop in Lafayette Park. No, I won't be the one to write that story. Thank you. I'm hearing there's a bigger story. Hard to report, though.
What's that?
What's really behind this?
What do you mean?
The D.C. government is a complete joke. I mean, everyone knows that. They can't even buy a paperclip without Congress's okay. Everyone knows first-time offenses like yours don't get prosecuted, especially months after the charges were dismissed. Even the crooked judge knew that. All you got was a $100 fine.
And kicked out of school.
It smells fishy. What do you mean? Who is after your father and why? Who wanted your charges to stick?
You sound like my mother. Conspiracy theories. She even thinks our phones are tapped.
Your story hasn't made it into the papers yet, but it's still getting peddled to every reporter in Washington. And now I'm hearing those unnamed sources are being pushed in Wyoming.
Wyoming?
That's the word.
Dad says if he weren't a senator, nothing would have come of it.
Well, yeah, he's probably right, but look, for now, there's been no take-up.
Buddy, it's okay. I know you tried to keep it quiet.
I'm sorry.
I know.
Home at last.
Home on the prairie. I love how it rolls and waves like the ocean all the way to the horizon. I could drown in it, just listening to the roar of the wind.
Let's forget about Washington and come home for good.
Not unless the voters send us packing. I'm feeling good about my re-election race next year.
I'd almost forgotten. I'd almost forgotten what a prairie snowstorm is like.
Buddy!
Oh, looks like we'll have ourselves a real white Christmas.
I'm dreaming of a white Christmas.
You know Bing Crosby.
I'll get us some eggnog while you two unpack the ornaments.
Are you sure about applying to school in Chicago, son?
Not really. But at least it's far from seminary. And Washington. And Wyoming.
We don't know anyone there.
That's just it, Dad. I want to find my own place.
Friends, family, community, they've always been important to your mother and me. I worry about you being all by yourself. Life's hard that way.
I think it will be okay. It's a big university and a big city, lots to do.
It sounds lonely to me.
I want to figure out who I am. Start over.
I'm so sorry. Because you're my son. What happened is my fault.
You're not to blame.
All right, gentlemen. Before we decorate the tree, let's celebrate with some eggnog.
To Wyoming. Home for the holidays.
To Christmas.
To the new year. Peace, health, and happiness for us all.
We might end up putting Deck the Halls back in, but for now this is fine.
And I come over and do the whole. So it's just this,
The chair.
this chair,
Yep, that chair. The lamp.
and this.
And the papers. But we don't have those.
Shh. Let's get out of here, suckers.
Projections, 83rd Congress, second sessions, projections, Red Scare, and Lavender Scare.
Well, there's another session in Congress underway. I thought McCarthy would have done himself in by now, but he's more popular than ever. Eisenhower's concerned about communism in Indochina, wherever the hell that is. Dr. Salk is testing his latest vaccine for polio. Television is catching on like wildfire. 3 networks already and everybody's watching. IBM claims that it's created an electronic brain made out of vacuum tubes that performs 10 million calculations an hour. Sounds impressive and all, but what can you really do with it? For the Hunts, things are getting off to a pretty good start.
We
That's-
outlined
that's
the change
news.
for the Hunts of the year, starting off with some good news.
For the Hunts, things are starting off
Some good news.
with some good news.
Oh, baby. Wait till you see these numbers. Yes, sirree, we're knocking it out of the park. I'm over 50% in every part of the state.
And Buddy's problem?
It's behind us. The polls didn't pick up a whisper.
Well, your juices are flowing, I see that.
I can't wait to campaign. I want to inspire people, make them get up and do great things again, like we did in the war.
Remember your first campaign? You never milked a goat before, but you learned how to do it fast.
Good times.
Oh, and the state fair.
I shook 1,000 hands
And you ate 23 hot dogs.
and won 3rd place in the cow washing contest. Never saw so much mud on one animal.
Yeah, well, you wanted those votes.
Fine. I want to see us pull together again. Unity. That's what our Constitution is about. The United States. Without that, we're done for.
Well, that sounds like the man I love.
The demagogues and the zealots, they brag about their principles. What principles? They bring the whole country down just to stick to their so-called principles. We can't let them do that.
Well, you are fired up. When do we announce?
Late March, early April.
Ah, the start of baseball season.
Always good luck for me.
What should be our first campaign event?
The rodeo?
Lester Hunt lassos a cat.
Let's get on our horses and lasso us some boats!
Woohoo!
Yeah!
Yeehaw!
Grab your purse, and then look. And then,
So as soon as she's out, I'm here.
yeah. And then they leave.
What do you do for Christmas?
Not much. Politics shuts down, this place turns into a ghost town. What's new with you?
Christmas was tough. I wanted to talk with Mom and Dad, but I couldn't. They don't want to think about it. They want us to get back to normal. But what's normal? They love me, but they can only go so far.
You want to talk about?
Who I am.
You mean what you are?
What I am, who I am, I don't know what I think or feel. Johnny, am I homo?
Seemed like it's me.
Sometimes I can't wait to marry a wonderful woman. about men in a way that's, I don't know, more than, different than, maybe not normal. I've heard that some people are attracted to both, women and men. Is that me? I don't know, maybe.
Buddy,
You change this line. If you feel like telling me what actually happened.
if you feel like telling me what actually happened that night.
Dad and Mom were back home in Wyoming. There wasn't anyone waiting for me here at the house. I didn't go to the park with the idea of any particular thing, but I knew that's where men can find, do things with other men. A man came up to me. He asked me if I wanted anything. He took my hand and led me toward a corner of the park. I was excited and scared at the same time. Then he grabbed my wrist hard, pulled handcuffs out of his pocket, and put them on me. He said I was under arrest.
Sounds like entrapment if you ask me.
Maybe he made it easier approaching me, but I knew what goes on at night in that park. I put myself where something could happen. Maybe I was hoping. I can't remember it all now. Homo. If that's me, I can't get straight with God.
Oh, I don't know about the whole God part. I just try to give everyone a fair shake and hope they do the same.
I want to help people. Like Dad. But not the way he does in politics. One by one, like Jesus did. Dad never understood that I don't need to be the pitcher. I'm happy in the outfield or second base or wherever the coach wants to put me. As long as I can help someone.
I always wondered why you wanted to be a preacher.
I've wanted that since I was a boy. I loved Sundays at our little church in Lander. I never really thought about anything else. I felt it chose me.
And now that it's finished,
I don't know. Is it possible God wants me, but his church doesn't? That makes no sense to me. Mother always says that God finds a way for you to do what he planned.
So McCarthy, that pot of piss is a part of God's plan?
I don't know what to believe anymore. I feel lost. You never had these thoughts?
Sometimes. Many of us do. Pressure's too much. Living two lives. Inside the real one, outside the lie.
Now?
Keep it together. Mostly. I had my high school reunion 2 years ago. My neighbor, nice gal, she knows about me. And when is my date? And it was awful. Got so drunk I passed out.
I don't want two lives. I want one whole life with God, with family, with community, not hiding from them or myself. I've always been close to my parents and my church. I miss seminary a lot. Do you think suicide's a sin?
Only if you do it on purpose. I have no idea if anything is a sin.
Suicide is a sin, the church says, because it's taking into our own hands something that is up to God.
But some folks feel they have no other way. They're boxed in, desperate, helpless. I can't blame them.
Maybe sometimes it's not so wrong. I wonder if my parents think suicide's always a sin. Is it a sin to end the shame I brought on them? Why would that send me to hell?
You destroyed them as well as yourself. Don't even think about that.
I'd be free.
You can't do that to them.
Maybe they'd understand. I gotta get going. I promised to be home for dinner.
I still care. A lot. If I can help.
I gotta go.
This is not the moment for you to announce.
We decided 2 months ago. Have you forgotten?
The Republicans are you're stirring people up now.
Election year politics.
And when is Eisenhower going to put stop to McCarthy?
Why would he? McCarthy's doing the dirty work for their party.
They're panic-stricken about losing the Senate.
I think Lynn will come through.
On what? He hasn't lifted a finger to help you. He hasn't said a thing against McCarthy. You know who ransacked our house, and so does he. But not a word.
No, nothing's been proven. No arrests.
Oh, and there won't be, will there? The cops can frame poor Buddy, but they can't find burglars? No, not for our house. Now, if Joe McCarthy's house 300 feet away had been terrorized, they'd have rounded up a whole gang of suspects.
We've got to let them investigate.
And what about your bill, huh? Stonewalled.
Republicans run the committee. They'll never move it.
What about Lyndon? He could push it if he wanted to.
I haven't given up. I'll hear from him soon.
Hear what?
I'm asking him to support my bill publicly. His secretary says you'll be in touch.
They're cowards, all of them.
Who?
Our so-called leaders from the president on down.
Lyndon's got to think about the whole Senate, not just me. And he's got a tough re-election in Texas.
Well, if he wants to be majority leader, he needs your seat too.
His primary could blow up over the whole big school desegregation case. I'm small fry compared to that.
You know, maybe you should keep a low profile for a while.
Run hard, hit all the bases, slide home. That's my motto.
Maybe you should think about retiring.
I can't
Come on,
retire.
you've had a good career, a great reputation, so much to be proud of. Just get out before
Too many
it's too
people are
late.
depending on me.
Fine.
Lester, I'm worried.
Lester, I'm worried.
Think of everything we did in Wyoming.
Yeah, but it's different. It's not the same here. This place feels evil and foul.
Since Buddy's arrest?
No, even before, but it all came clear then.
It is tougher here than back home.
It's not just Washington. Things are changing everywhere. Is anything in politics worth destroying people's reputations and their lives? Honorable people like you run for office thinking they're going to make this country better. But they're chewed up and left for dead. It's wrong. Lester, it's wrong.
Sometimes I worry too, but good people have to stay in the game, Val.
Oh, I just want life the way it used to be. I want our family to succeed.
Me too. But I haven't forgotten why I'm here. I'm here for the regular Americans, for the school teachers and the dirt farmers, the truck drivers and the housewives, and the small town shopkeepers. What do those Republican bastards care about the working man? Nothing. When the big banks and the big businessmen come sniffing around Congress looking for a payoff or a handout, Bridges and his crowd can't wait to shovel money into their mouths. Like, shit.
It's perfect.
Doesn't feel right.
They all have the big shots.
Oh, bail out the big shots, but don't give a nickel to the kid who needs school books? FDR. He knew what fear and hunger do to a man. They grind him down at nothing. Look at all he did. Jobs, food, hope, Social Security, so that old women wouldn't starve in the streets. Without that, we could turn into Russia or Germany. God help us. That's what happens when a whole country is afraid. Fear. That's what McCarthy, Bridges, and their gang are selling. Fear. And it's pulling us apart. That's why I'm here, Nathel, and that's why I'm not leaving. I'm not going to let our people down.
You won't change your mind.
No.
I'm pretty sure you saw
Is it over here?
or do you go this way?
This feels
It's
like
this
because
way.
I'm going again.
Yeah. Transition projections images are projected with headlines about the clashes between McCarthy and the Army, and the announcement of Army-McCarthy hearings in the Senate.
Ike's furious.
About Joe pointing the finger at Reds in the Army.
That and the David Shine mess.
Roy Cohn says there is no David Shine mess. The Army is just a bunch of jackasses who want to screw over Joe.
It doesn't look good. Joe should know better.
Don't you think Joe is telling the truth? That the Army is hiding spies and traitors?
Herman, this isn't about truth, it's about politics. Bullying Army officers to do favors for Roy's pretty boy pal is frankly not helpful. The president is not happy. In his book, nobody accuses his army of being unpatriotic.
I hear the networks will be covering the hearings.
Oh, that damn television. It's ruining the way we do things here. In the Senate, we take care of our own. Those cameras just gin up the public. We're too stupid to understand the way things need to be handled.
But if the president is backing the army against Joe,
Don't
then...
get excited, Herman. Ike said his piece. He'll stay behind the scenes now. By the November elections, Army versus McCarthy will be old news.
Well, in the meantime...
In the meantime, we've got to keep our eye on Hunt.
Senator Hunt?
Yes, Senator Lester Hunt. Is there another Hunt?
He's running for re-election.
His poll numbers are high. Seems the folks in Wyoming love him. So, it's time to, shall we say, make staying in the Senate a less appealing option.
These Wyoming voters don't care that his fairy son got caught by a cop?
Those cowboys don't know it, or they don't believe it.
And that's where the president comes in?
Hunt can choose the carrot or the stick. Ike holds the carrots.
Such as?
He's offering Hunt a seat on a federal commission if he resigns immediately.
Why would he do that?
Hunt's not a wealthy man. The job pays a lot more than the Senate, and it's a lifetime appointment. Hunt gets away from the cameras. Everybody forgets about his kid. Hunt goes away. We pick up another seat right now.
And the stick.
If Hunt takes the carrot, it won't be necessary. The stick.
More like a club.
25,000 copies. Printed and ready to mail. One for every voting household in Wyoming.
Who's telling Hunt?
You. If the carrot fails, I suggest you mail one to the good senator, anonymously, with a note saying the remaining 24,999 copies will be sent to his constituents back home, unless he resigns. He'll know what to do.
Transition. Ominous sounds of an approaching ocean storm are punctuated by semi buzzers going off in rapid succession.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'll think it over. Could you ask Mrs. Hunt to come over, please? She's at the Senate Wives meeting in the Capitol. Thank you. You didn't expect this. The president trying to bind me off. Resign for a no-show seat in Washington and my re-election campaign. Send my volunteers home. Stop my supporters. Just to feather my own nest. Who does he think I am?
What is this about?
The president called and offered me a job. On a tiny commission no one's ever heard of. Lifetime appointment, pays way more than the Senate. Lots of perks like travel. He pushed it as a great opportunity and a personal request from him.
Maybe this is an opportunity.
He wants me to resign my Senate seat right now.
Oh, we should at least think about it.
You're usually... Oh, we got rid of
Those
Those bastards want to put me out to pasture. No one would ever see me again.
Once you announced for re-election, I thought they'd give up.
What more could they do? They persecuted our son, tried to plant nasty stories in the press, ordered somebody to crash our house. This has to be the race in the hole. The president. I'm saying no, and that will not.
Lester, think
I'm
about
not for sale. I gotta hit to the floor.
Maybe you should talk to Lyndon.
About what?
About this. About your bill.
Don't you understand? Shoot, blind person.
I called.
Don't you understand? I called, stopped by, nothing. If he had time for me, I'd have heard from him.
Well, during the vote.
Grabbing him on the floor is harder than you think.
But the president. Come on, this is important.
Lyndon doesn't care about me. Lay off!
Lester.
I'm sorry, honey. I'm not myself.
Transition. Hunt is moving through the Senate corridors as five buzzers signal the final stage of the roll call. Hunt looks around fearfully. The sounds of ocean waves and prairie winds grow louder. Hunt rushes off stage. The sounds fade and lights dim. We never blocked that, so
Is the phone ringing?
yes, sorry. That rings first. Then that. Hunt gathers up papers, heads out the door to the Senate floor. Tell watches and leaves, puts on her gloves, picks up her purse. Phone rings. Tell looks at it and exits and continues. on this binder right there.
Those
There should be
newspapers.
newspapers.
Oh,
It's like the email
why are you so late?
I'm sorry, I had to wait for the last roll call. Nathel, what's wrong?
Every time I think our nightmare is over, it gets worse. Read this.
This is a disaster. They'll smear us across the whole state of Wyoming with this.
You didn't know?
No.
It's like the Gestapo. I thought we wiped this kind of filth out in the war.
Going after me is one thing, but you and Buddy, too, that's out of bounds.
They will do whatever it takes to get what they want.
The Democrats have got to get back the majority. It's the only way to stop what the Republicans are doing.
Maybe it's time to stop thinking about the Democrats and start thinking about us.
Hell, this is bigger than our family or our party. The McCarthyites are ripping our country apart. Someone has to stop them.
We have done enough. Someone else's turn.
Don't you see? That's just what those bastards want. Blackmail me out of here.
Right?
We've got to face the truth.
We've got to face the truth. It is time for us to give up.
What?
You could say you're sick. I can't eat. You can't sleep. Look at us. How much more can we take?
I don't know.
We could go home to Wyoming before it's too late. Or we could travel. Get our own trailer. Hit the road. Camp in the parks. Maybe even visit Mexico. Have time together again. Just the two of us.
We've never had time to do that, have we?
Please, Lester, for us. Why don't you try writing a letter to the party? Say that medical problems force you to withdraw. And you don't have to send it right away. Just see how you feel tomorrow.
You go on to bed. I've got some thinking to do and maybe some writing.
All right. To bed soon. Thank you.
Dad, you're still up?
I've got a few things to finish up and then I'll head to bed.
Okay. Good night, Dad.
Buddy, when you were a kid, we played ball.
You're my little catcher.
You were my little... You were my little catcher, remember?
Sure, Dad.
You could run and grab the ball and throw it back to me in a jiffy. What do you remember?
I remember your first race. I was 8 or 9. We dressed up in cowboy boots and hats with our toy pistols. We campaigned together. I loved it.
We had fun.
And when you put the bucking bronco on the state license plates, my friends thought that was pretty cool.
15 years later, that Bronco's still on now. But sometimes I was working too much. Maybe I didn't pay enough attention.
It's okay. I was proud of you.
I miss those times we had. Well, I'll finish this up.
Okay. Good night, Dad.
I love my son. What happened? Why is he a... You know what?
We don't know. He doesn't know. He isn't sure. Maybe he's not.
Maybe it's my fault. Something I did
No,
wrong.
no, don't say that. Come on, everything will soon.
I can't sleep. I can't think. I can't even breathe.
You're under a lot of pressure.
Pressure. You know what I have told you? I'm there, and the walls close in. The ceiling crushes me. Giant waves of voices roll down the long marble corridors. The buzzers, the damn buzzers, they never stop.
What's happened to you?
The phone rings. Nobody says a word, but someone's listening. They're coming after me. I try to run, but I'm trapped. I can't get away.
some rest. You'll feel better in the morning.
And this is where we turn around. Yeah. Okay. So this part we are going to change to a new gun. So eventually you're going to get it out of that. For now, it's fine. Just continue.
Okay, you're going to continue for now.
Yeah.
Are you just vacant? Is mine the gun?
Sure. Yeah, that would be better.
So during the scene, I'm getting it. I'm actually going into the home, quote unquote, grabbing it. Like when
Yeah, so what we had talked about is how you were going to get ready for work. That's why you're grabbing this. So like on your way to work, you'll get it out of it.
And this is not something I'm hiding. The audience
No,
sees
you're
this.
hiding it. Well, like the audience will see it, but then you hide it from him.
Right. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Senator Hunt,
Good morning.
good morning. How's Buddy?
Headed to school in Chicago soon.
Probably for the best.
I gotta get to the office.
Senator, I'm not looking for a quote.
No,
Nothing on the record.
I don't want to talk.
Senator McCarthy's passing the word. He has a press conference this morning, promises to be a bombshell.
Whether it's true or not.
He's always good for a headline.
I never comment.
I never comment on Senator McCarthy's stunts. His bombshells are usually hand grenades thrown at innocent people. And that's not a quote.
No, sir, not a quote. Well, you know I am a close friend of Buddy's.
He's okay, as I said.
Look, the scuttlebutt is that
We've
he's
all
going to be
had enough of McCarthy. You're to blame. You reporters. Ignore him. He'll dry up.
The word is he's going to accuse a senator of trying to bribe the D.C. police to fix a case.
Who?
That's what he's going to tell at the press conference.
Today.
I wanted you to know.
I'm so tired. Leave me alone! You've got the wrong number. It's like McCarthy says. It's about two teams. That's what this is all about. Us versus them. Hey, you. In the black jerseys, eat my fastball. I gotta think this through. Be logical. I stand firm. Fight against their blackmail and lies. Fail. We're ruined. Or I could retire, go home, in disgrace. What is it? Time to decide. Stay or go? Stay. Yes, stay. There's work to do. Take those bullies down. The people need you, Lester.
Yeah, now
You
you remember what
remember what we met? Later field, my second game. We were happy. Or go. Maybe it's time. Where did we go? What's on the other side? You know, the lies, fear, shame. Or is there just nothing? What reputation, what good do I leave behind? Do you miss me? Is it lonely? I can't run anymore. I can't breathe. Someone help me breathe. God, help me.
I don't believe it. McCarthy's a liar. But we've got to ask him. We need a quote.
We don't need to write this. It's not true.
Is it easy?
Senator Hunt! Senator Hunt!
Senator Hunt! Senator Hunt. Hunt's death was a shock in Washington, of course. There were whispers about what really happened, and I wrote a column that no one paid attention to. The official story was that he was despondent over his health, that it was a cover-up. Who wouldn't be in his shoes? The Senate does what it always does when a member dies: stands on the shore and salutes the tide as it goes out. At the memorial service, Stiles, Bridges, and Herman Welker eulogized Hunt. That level of hypocrisy was hard to take. Looking back now, I see that Hunt's death was a small ripple in the big ocean of history. Some say that it hastened McCarthy's fall. Others that it was one thing that helped the Democrats regain the Senate and keep it for the next 26 years. The Wyoming governor, as expected, appointed a Republican to Hunt's seat, but the voters threw him out in November for a Democrat. Lyndon Johnson won his primary a month after Hunt died, and went on to become one of the most powerful Senate Majority leaders of his time. In December, the Senate finally censured Joe McCarthy, though Bridges and Welker voted not to. McCarthy remained in the Senate until his death 3 years later. Alcohol got him. In 1960, Jack Kennedy was elected president, but 3 years later, he was killed. He was dead. Then Lyndon Johnson became president, but Vietnam brought him down too. That's how it goes. Ambitious people saddle up for a wild ride. Some get to make history, others are destroyed by it. So what happened to the other characters?
They all returned home and lived another 34 years.
Buddy, he moved to Chicago, and as he wished, he spent his life helping others as a community organizer and college professor.
Stiles Bridges remained in the Senate, accumulating the hoarfrost of respectability that years inside the Capitol can bring. Finally croaked of a heart attack a few months after the inauguration of Kennedy and Johnson. Maybe that's what did it to him. The Senate eventually named a room after him in the U.S. Capitol.
Welker lost his re-election in 1956 to a Democrat and died 1 month before McCarthy of a brain tumor.
There's nothing named for Senator Hunt in the Capitol, but Bridges and Welker weren't the only ones to speak at his funeral. So did his friend, Senator Edwin Johnson of Colorado. Here's what he said. In his beloved Wyoming, Lester Hunt respected and loved everyone, and everyone respected and loved him. Politics was to him, as was his religion, based on warm friendship, courtesy, kindness, gentleness, and goodwill toward all.
He was ill-prepared for the cruel, brutal, rough aspect of national partisan politics. He thought evil of no one, and his gentle nature was shocked into panic that persons whom he liked and respected would destroy him in the cause of party politics when he was wholly without guilt. Wish I had written that myself.